Wharram.
Way to ultimately have the writing lines rigged, but
Yeah, well, I'll show you what I brought.
that may be stupid because it's going to happen so rarely.
Could be. But if it happens and it's not convenient, right? Then how are we getting to it?
The tether, a key part of Capsize. It's how you manage your tether.
Who's more mobile? Who can unhook safety if they need to? Beers, I think these are yours. I didn't bring a towel.
It's going to get wet again.
What about my hair? Not coming anymore anyway. Here, do you want this? What's this?
I want that, yeah. That's my sardine section.
No pelican cases. Oh, there's my piss bucket. A piss bottle and what am I wearing? I'm just gonna wear a sweater and no long pants. See what that's all about? So my food would eventually be going up in the front compartment, right? That's not where I've packed it right now. So I packed that compartment fully full of clothes and don't have any room for food there.
The front thing?
Yeah. So here's this rope.
Wow. Nice stuff.
Pretty lightweight.
Very light water bottles. getting a tether today. Suddenly realizing that many things are not tethered. That might be wrong. No, this one came off.
You know how I tether mine? On a string with one of those, little slide things.
I didn't see.
Is it me hitting it or it hitting me? Maybe it's keeping it like this.
That's plastic. That's the plan. Don't touch your beer.
Rigging tape. Dog is about to fall. So what's the recovery strategy when this doesn't go good? I got rid of everything in my life jacket because I didn't want to get flares and stuff wet. Sure. In the very front is a bunch of stuff, like water bottles and just stuff. And here is all my clothing. I got too much stuff in there. Some of it's going to end up living up in the front, like the emergency sleeping bag and stuff. And then under this little toggle here, but that's all my clothing and stuff. And this one here is more stuff. There's tools, more clothing, some spare little bits and pieces, and that's like it. I didn't really pack everything. And
Alright, so here's the main compartment with the sleeping container and the bailing buckets. Eventually this is going to have to get lashed down, but we haven't done that yet. So I'm just going to tether it to the boat like, let's see, I don't want this to fall away, do I? Need to really tether it. So when the boat flips, we're going to have to, if we're going to flip it once with the hatches sealed, and we'll right it and see how much water is in it. And then we'll go and flip it again with the hatch open and let it down flood. When it down floods, things like this bilge cover that aren't secure are going to float away. So we're going to secure that. Everything else is tied to the boat in here. Bailing buckets and a bailer, a sleeping bag. Down here we have water bottles, some full, some empty. And a sleeping pad that's free floating right now. Eventually it's going to get glued down, probably because we're going to find today it'll float away. And then further aft here, we got another compartment that needs a hatch sealed, but anything in here is tied on, except for this sponge here. So I'm going to try to tether that down with the bungee cord temporarily. And then, if you go further aft, we got some gear that's going to be out during the day, so that's all tied in, like this, swimsuit, stuff like that, snack bag, emergency gear, sunscreen, and then, of course, the hatch covers are going to be sealed, that is closed. They're not going to have their bicycle tube seal on right here. That's our super storm thing. We're going to test that later. This is just simple hatch is closed and lightly lashed. How much water do we get in the hulls? Bilges are dry right now. We'll see what happens.
okay, so my last question to you, Scott, is how long do you want these?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm just going to do this. Now that I've gotten this far, once we go out, we'll just loop them between 2 points and put them over to the other end, and then we'll have extra, right? We'll figure it out. It's yet the fleet doing one more thing when it shouldn't be doing one more thing. So just temporarily, we'll just hook them around these, right? So we won't cut the rope, we'll just have a loop like that, and then we'll send the two ends over and they'll be what they are, right? And then we'll figure out eventually. I don't want to cut this and have it wrong.
Yeah, why don't we put the midpoint in the middle of the span and run it along our safety line, feed it off on each side. And we have this, we'll have a length, an equal length.
Does that mean you want to cut this in half now?
No, I just said put the middle in the middle, and then
just hook it around the beam?
yeah, because we want enough of a tail here that we can both grab onto it, or tie it across and both grab onto it. Or,
right, but we're gonna have two of them, right?
Eventually, I think. But we may be able to ride it by one of us standing on each side of this point. Yeah. It's not clear to me that whether we have to be halfway between.
Right.
So why don't we try it together? I mean, this would be the simplest thing, right? We just
just do it. I'm not totally seeing it. Once I see it, I'll understand. Over side. Alright, my turn is this and then two. Perfect. One side. So we want to, so I couldn't get there because my safety couldn't get under the ground. sails and stuff like that. So that we can drift. So this is where if it's really wavy, the water will be coming back in. That's sort of why I wanted a hatch in the deck. The pump goes in, right? Because that's what happened to us on the, you're sailing back toward your beach, right? You're sailing toward the beach. Bucket. I was completely wet. Oh, we're safe.
Safe and dry, baby.
I wouldn't be so sure about dry, but you're safe.
What did you say?
I wouldn't be so sure about dry, but you're definitely safe.
Woo! And hot.
How's the water?
What's that?
How's the water?
It's actually getting pretty nice. It felt a little cold on my hands when we were dealing with in the water, but nothing like
So we started
extreme.
from there. I said no. Right?
Yeah.
It's now 11:56. So that would have been like, I think it was 11:22.
Yeah.
So 20, let's say it was 24. That took us 30 minutes to get there.
That was 30 minutes.
Sailing up. see that it's filled, so we don't get disappointed. Yeah. So how does it fill up? Stable and safe, right?
Yeah.
Just take our time, right? We're okay. We need to make it so we can get the sail down. We also need to empty the hull we're trying to pull up over. We need to get all that stuff in the water on their landing site.
Before we start trying to pull it over? Yeah, transferring that gear.
But that's a problem, because that means we've opened that up and now there's water getting in. So we can't do that.
Yeah, I think we need to work.
And we were struggling, and we don't have everything in there.
Yeah.
We have food and water.
Yeah, it's definitely borderline. One thing we could do is cut the rig away. We could have.
Well, we don't need to cut the rig away. We just need to get the sail out of it. So, Beaner is here, so we can release it. Is that what you mean by cutting it away?
Yeah, I think maybe it's easier to be able to have those snotters as short as they can be and the fluid stopper not on.
Yep.
So you just unclip and pull them out.
Yep.
And either cut or free the halyard.
Yep.
And this whole sail can just hold aft.
Right.
Clear of everything.
So that's why if we have the cleat on the underside, then we can get to it. And then when we lash the line around the halyard, we can't hook the line in on itself, right? And I think also the problem was the black line. I couldn't get to it, right?
Yeah. No, you get the alternative. Now, see, even if you
dog.
do the sheets, that's what you need to separate it from the mast. So it's the snotter and the halyard.
But we don't want to lose it. So the question is,
You can't lose it. We should still be attached, right?
right? Okay. Not if we've undone the beater.
No, there's nothing, no beaner back here. Just free the snotters, cut the halyard, and then you pull it out. Stern to the wind, which is maybe not the best.
So the secret, so here's the question. The highest buoyancy is in the bow, lowest buoyancy is in the stern. So should we should be back here. The danger of being back here is we now have a propeller in our way, right?
And we're on the outboard side here. Plus, I was worried you were going to step through the door skin up there a couple
Yeah, but
times.
when the boat came over, it came over on top of us. I was in between the hulls when
Oh, yeah, you mean as it flips?
Yeah,
well, that's definitely worse. It was nice being up there.
Yeah.
You could run forward as it's going over. But I like your idea that maybe it's easier to get the stern down.
So are we better off? You know how they do it on the Hobie, right? They've got that bag that they fill with water.
Yeah, I think that's our solution. We have maybe strapped to the bottom of the tramp. We've got a couple of water bags. I felt like if we were just a little heavier, it wouldn't be quite nearly as hard. Then we have two of these lines, so we each on one.
We have to eat more.
We're not.
Not bad enough.
So we have two lines. Each have a water bag. I think it's going to go quick, even when it's loaded. That'll definitely we'll have to test.
So we have a water bag that we're hanging, like with a piece of webbing that we hang over our shoulder.
Yeah. You want it as high up on your body as possible.
Or are we hooking it?
Line.
Huh?
Hump line.
Or do we actually have it on the blue line, on the end of the blue line, and it goes over our shoulder,
Yeah.
and then the handle's in here?
Yeah, that's
right.
That's really good.
And we each have.
Well, that's one thing you can stuff into the end. The dry bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably bigger than that.
Well,
Like my green one down there. That's an awesome. You want it to be something like 40 liters. So you can lift it up. Maybe that's a little much. Maybe 30 liters, 60 pounds.